Instead, he took that moment to be like, oh, he's scary. He's the prince of DreamHack. Meanwhile, TaeJa is the devil of DreamHack.
Yeah.
Like
he's the king of DreamHack.
No,
the
life's the
Cthulhu
king.
of DreamHack.
Well, Hero has won 2 DreamHack tournaments. I mean, you can't really take that away from him. He's been at DreamHack since the very beginning of time, pretty much. But likewise is TaeJa. TaeJa's, if he wins this tournament, he'll have 5 DreamHack trophies. 5 stars. He's a 5-star player.
Well, what does that mean? Like, what royalty is that? Because if you're a prince for winning 2, does that make you like a god or something?
He was the first player to get 3, first player to get 4, first player to get 5.
It's just redundant.
It's
At
just
some point, it's like, stop sending him, please. Let other people have a chance.
Haven't you completed this quest already, man? Like, come on.
But it should be a good match. What I like about it is, again, on paper, TaeJa is the absolute favorite.
Yeah.
So there's a chance for this to be a pretty straightforward 3-0, 3-1, kind of boring. But I've always been a giant Hero fanboy, and one of the big reasons I'm a fanboy of him is his micro, his control, his kind of erratic, fast-paced style. It's really fun, but it's also the stuff of toppling legends. Like, he is a dangerous player to play against, even when he's outgunned, I feel.
Yeah, TaeJa is definitely someone that's going to play a straight-up game more so, I feel. Hero's a fancy guy, but thank you guys for your feedback. We're ready to go into this game.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
He took
Whoa.
over.
Yeah, man.
Just take it.
Nathaniel.
We're in the game.
Take it as your own.
I'm so excited to collect some more Protoss
He doesn't
tiers.
need you to hand it off. You're not needed.
Whoa.
Well, to be fair, we are 50 seconds into the game, mate.
Are you guys getting uncomfortable?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of
Yeah,
worried.
I can feel it from Nathaniel.
Did you want to join us on this one?
Did you want to do a player intro, Nathaniel? He needs time. Should we give Nathaniel the control, guys?
He
All
wants
right.
it.
Coming in at 5'3", weighing in at just over 200 pounds. It is Nathaniel, the commentator, joined by Moonglade.
Thanks for that. Okay.
All right.
I don't have a response, so
we're ready to go, mate.
We're ready to go into the game. We are, your standard 2-minute player introductions.
Yep.
And a big shout out, of course, is I wouldn't be the man I am today without In Control and Apollo. But our first player spawning in the southeast position, the red Protoss representing Team Liquid. He is Hero.
The prince of DreamHack.
And he's up against someone who's got enough trophies that we actually aren't quite sure what to call him of DreamHack because he would kind of taken every title already. The blue Terran player representing Team Liquid as well, he is TaeJa.
The demon god of DreamHack.
I would take it. You know, I always kind of think of TaeJa in tournaments like this as like he's like the final boss, right?
He is.
Like,
He's one of them.
How many players, I really like to know this, have actually been able to win an offline Premier tournament without having to go through TaeJa? Like,
Not many. In these
unless
kind of
you've only won
tournaments.
one and you started on the other side of the bracket
Yeah.
and he like lost in the semis. Like, it's just,
Well-
you know, you're going to have to beat TaeJa at some point because he plays in everything and he really doesn't lose a lot.
Exactly. You got Life as well. Is pretty much exactly the same sort of situation. Another monster who does so well at these huge international tournaments and not so well in like WCS leagues and etc. and GSL. But this game is pretty well underway at this point. 3 minutes 30 in. We already see a proxy pylon out to the mid right here.
Proxy, Twilight Council.
Okay, so
And Hero keeping the probe here leads me to
DT,
believe.
yeah.
Dark Templar play. I would say, you know, it's relatively uncommon in PvT these days, but Hero is he's always been one of those guys that goes for this. And TaeJa, he's actually paying a little bit of respect to Hero. He's like, well, not entirely sure what you're up to. Even though he probe scouted, he doesn't want to build his command center on the low ground. He doesn't feel... And that's actually surprising. Like, if you rush the Mothership Core out on this map, you can get to that natural pretty quickly to deny the SCV. That must be the only thing that he would be concerned about.
It's gonna be Blink, but the probe is still there, so he's gonna throw something else down there, I'm guessing, at some point here. But yeah, I agree with you. And I mean, one thing to note is TaeJa knows Hero very, very well. They are teammates. They have been teammates for years. So I'm sure he's kind of quite aware of how aggressive Hero likes to be in this matchup and has an idea of how to play this. And we see a bunker, a very, very early bunker in the mineral patch. Whoa. And I like this a lot, especially against pretty much anything.
Whoa, he's putting a gateway next to that. He's putting 2 gateways next to that Twilight.
Wow, okay. That's really interesting.
You know, I guess one way, if this were to get into one of those weird base races like MC had against Jakchi, just have your base somewhere else, man, and he can't kill it. But the Stalker's already attacking the supply depot at the front wall of TaeJa. And the bunker in the mineral line, like, this is great versus a proxy Oracle or a really fast gateway rush.
Even against DTs,
really,
it's pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I think he really wants, in my imagination as a Terran, you want to have your bunker up front against this type of assault. Or
yeah,
at least,
you want multiple bunkers at the front.
Yeah, you need more than one, and you certainly are going to have a hard time holding this without Marauders. So the starport opening is nice. He got the factory. He has a Widow Mine, but like everything right now is set up to defend Oracle.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't even have Stim on the way at this point, and it's very, very important against Blink Stalkers eventually to hold it off. And
I don't think
no bunkers at all either.
I don't think TaeJa really has a whole lot to deal with this. I'm kind of concerned.
Well, hang on, we got a Widow Mine on the way, which is going to help out a lot against these Blink Stalkers. Always something you really, really want to have against these timing attacks.
He needs to keep a position somewhere that the Stalkers can't bait the fire. Like, put it just high enough into your base that it will only trigger once the Stalkers blink in. Like, TaeJa's moving out with one of his Widow Mines in his medevac, but the robotics facility is halfway done. So Hero, he's on a path to being able to defend it, but this blink, I'd say, since he's still on one base, you know, all in basically, really, he needs to kill TaeJa with this, or deal, you know, crippling amounts of damage so that he can expand.
Yeah, and looking what he has at the moment, there's no bunker at the top of the ramp here. If he can snipe this Widow Mine, it'd be so important, but he just misses out. And he could take a Widow Mine hit, but nice blink there. And that's quite a number of Marines as well, but still, no Stim on the way, no combat shields just yet. The tech lab only just finished at this point.
Yeah, the weird thing that can happen with this is, you know, if he had Marines in that medevac, he wouldn't even be able to deny any production from Hero because there's not any other gateways there. So first observer is out.
Oh, this could do a lot of damage.
Wow,
Whoa.
Great target fire with that mine, killing 6 probes. Yeah, the mine is about to rearm itself, but there's still quite a few Stalkers inside of TaeJa's base. And the Time Warp is going to make things complicated. Like, he pushes him. And actually, this could work out a little bit, because if the Stalkers blink down to that right area, they are going to have to move quite a bit to get back towards that ramp area. And this will buy TaeJa some time. He can afford to lose workers, especially with what that Widow Mine was able to do to Hero's economy.
And with the second CC as well. I mean, he's not really going to fall behind at all. Now there's a tank in the main. So he's kind of sitting pretty at this point. It's going to be very, very hard for Hero to find a way in.
Yeah, I think this has reached the point where Hero's going to need to expand behind this, get a sentry on the low ground, and play safe, because now he wants to move up, but once he starts taking fire from that tank, you know, microing isn't going to do as much. Actually gets a kill with the Widow Mine, like that's, you know, and so enough of these Stalkers are low health that you're basically one tank shot and one Marine volley away from losing, you know, your Stalkers. But Hero continues to warp Stalkers in, blinking into this. I've actually lost a couple, my fair share of games, like when the Stalkers like just dive on the tank, snipe it, and kill everything else. But with the bunker there and the Widow Mines, that's really, really risky.
Yeah, and now we see Marauders being made as well, and that's quite a lot of Marines outside the bunker. So it's going to be very, very hard for Hero to really find anything. He's really going to have to commit a lot and quite possibly take a lot of damage.
He's really, really fishing for something like, okay, attack the command center. TaeJa shouldn't lose this. TaeJa shouldn't lose anything. Maybe that tech lab is snipeable, but even then he should be able to kill a Stalker or 2 in the process. And Hero's just going to come up and fight this?
Whoa, I didn't like this trade at all. He lost 2 or 3 Stalkers there, and he's going to have to pull back. I mean, he's keeping TaeJa inside his main, but TaeJa just making a much better composition at this point.
Yeah,
and
moves
great
up
pick
another
up there.
Tank, and when you blink in on this, and you're still trading a lot of your forces out. Now there are Marauders at play, and the Marauders do a great job of targeting down these weak Stalkers. The Mothership Core will fall, and Hero starts probe production again. He still has not expanded, and TaeJa's already lifted that orbital. He's like, yep, I feel pretty comfortable taking my natural.
Yeah, pretty easy peasy at this point, and we could have maybe seen a sentry to kind of delay this even more and maybe help him catch up.
The observer too, so there's no high ground vision anymore, and that means he can put the tank safely on the high ground to just jockey for positioning.
Yeah, this is looking very, very, very good for TaeJa. It's just a matter of time before TaeJa gets down this ramp, secures the natural, and is in complete control of this game.
And once Stim is over, this game should be, because Hero just, he's chosen not to expand. He needs to make, like, the type of play he would need to make is truly incredible, because there's no way to micro against these tanks when they have high ground, when there's no high ground vision for the Protoss. Yeah, there's nothing he can do against the tanks.
There's nothing he can do. He has to transition, but he's not so far. He keeps warping in Stalkers. He keeps making probes, but he's not making a Nexus, which he really, really needs at this point. I'm getting kind of scared for Hero. He's really all in with this, and there's the window of opportunity, as far as I'm concerned, is gone.
TaeJa's like, drop mule. Oh wait, you have an observer, scan, instantly kill it. It's like, well, you still have no high ground vision, so there's nothing you can do to try to pick off the tanks.
3 tanks at this point.
Yeah, 3 tanks have this. This is locked down, man. There's absolutely no way he's getting through this. Stam is about to complete as well. The Stalker step forward. It's like, yeah, I killed a tank, and I lost 3 or 4 more Stalkers.
Not good trades at all, and Hero, he's still trying to make something happen at this point, but I don't know. I know Blink Stalkers are
TaeJa,
good.
by the way, has lifted up most of his bio in medevac, so he's a little bit vulnerable now since he doesn't have a bunker. But still moving into this because the tanks have high ground vision is still too risky. So TaeJa's saying, yeah, I'm going to go end the game because you have all your units here. There's really nothing you have at home that can defend against this. He doesn't even have a mothership core, by the way, so this actually should just be game right here.
Yeah, he's going to right-click the Nexus. I mean, he could if he wants to, or he could just go and start doing probe damage here. Only 2 Stalkers and a Zealot, along with the probes. Probes getting funneled in, and just easy kills. 14 down already.
Hero walks into the ramp, not able to blink up, and gets wrecked. GG, TaeJa with a 1-0 lead now. Pretty straightforward game.
Very straightforward.
That was an awkward game, though. Like, TaeJa's build, not super crazy. Not unusual to do what TaeJa did, by any means. The bunker in his main mineral line, like, you go in, you're like, okay, I didn't get to see where Hero's pylons were. He didn't see a Nexus, I didn't see a probe in the natural. I want to make sure that I'm not going to die to some sort of proxy play or Stargate.
Exactly.